Hi, I'm Lake County Board Chairman Aaron Lawler. This past November, we elected 2 new countywide elected office holders, and one of those is here with us today, Erin Cartwright Weinstein, the new Circuit Court Clerk here in Lake County. Welcome.
Thank you.
Well, let's start out about this office. Obviously, it has a lot of functions, both related to the courts, primary function of being the record keeper, but you guys do so much more than that. Can you talk about it?
Correct. Most of our daily functions are related to record keeping. So we have approximately 132 people on staff right now, and we have one part-time in addition to that, and then one other person who manages our technology. And day to day, we have clerks that enter each courtroom, bring the files to the judges and work with the judges, and then put all the information on the computer systems, which is then relayed to the county through our public access site. But we also manage passports. We are also dealing with a lot of the technology changes that are up and coming for the courts and for our office for maintaining all of the records.
And that's a big point to touch on, because a lot of times taxpayers will say, why do we need that? And often it's a state or federal mandate, or in this case, a mandate driven by the administrative office of the courts, of the Supreme Court.
Correct. Yes, actually, we have a mandate to have everything up and running for an e-filing system by January 1st of 2018, and that is in the process. We're working very closely with the judges on that, and we're hoping to have all of that up and going, and more information to give the public shortly about how the process is going and where we're at. I've been involved in it for about 2 months, so of course the amount of information that I am learning is a lot.
Baptism by fire,
yes,
I guess.
Exactly.
I know the fire chiefs, not the fire chiefs, the police chiefs are very interested in it, very engaged in supporting your efforts on that. But maybe tell us a little bit about who you are, where you live, and what made you run for this position.
Currently, I live in Gurnee, and I'm from Michigan, and I went to school in Michigan until college, and then I went to St. Mary's Notre Dame for college, off to law school at Thomas Cooley, which is now part of Western Michigan University. And then I came here and began working for the state's attorney's office, and I was here under Mike Waller from 2000 to 2004. And when I finished there, I moved on and went to into private practice, practicing family law, where I practiced for 12 and a half years before I won the election. So, and then actually I was recommended to run for the circuit clerk's office by some judges, and so when they approached me, and I decided that it was an endeavor I would love to undertake, and I'm really glad I did.
Can you share some of the other priorities that you've maybe run on and also seen since you got here?
Sure. One of the first and the most important is the technology. So first we have to get the e-filing system up and running so that we meet the mandate. The second thing that we're working on is we're trying to put a new case management system up. Our current case management system is basically on a dot matrix system, and it's just not working. So we're working on that. That's going to be one step at a time. That's obviously something we're working with the county board on, with the court administration and with the judges as well. So that's the biggest priority in this office, is really getting us up to date technologically.
Obviously, the state runs a lot of revenue and a lot of rules, not just through this office, but the county in general. Can you talk about impacts that you're seeing at the state level and how they impact your office?
I think one of the biggest things is the worry about the financial and the revenue that's coming in from the state at this point. So, you know, what cutbacks are going to be made, where we're going to have to be careful on what we're spending our money on. So, you know, we've been really working hard in the office, going through our budget, trying to see where we can have cost-cutting measures to make sure that we can stay afloat if revenues, you know, drop for the county and then in turn would drop for us. So that's probably one of our big issues with regard to the state. Otherwise, the regulations will come down, whether from the Supreme Court or legislation, and we'll work with, you know, implementing those into the office and making them work for the judiciary and for us.
Yeah. It's huge, and it's part of not just a county service, but a constitutional right to have access to that justice system. And so as we see state revenues declining, it puts more pressure on other revenues to utilize those for our core and mandated services. The community may not know that we get $135 million a year from or through the state of Illinois out of a $420 million spending plan. So a lot of money goes there, and we certainly would like to see a solution. We work well together. Well, we're new. our relationship is new, but Lake County has a strong history of working in a bipartisan manner, and so I think it's one of the things that really makes us tick. Can you share some of your other priorities for the office, or did you have any others?
Another priority would be working with morale in the office. We've really been working on restructuring, putting people into positions where they feel confident and comfortable and they're happy to come to work every day. So that's been a goal, and we've spent quite a bit of time working together with we have new chiefs, we have new supervisors, we have people who are we're trying to move up within the office and to try and improve morale. So that's one thing that we've been working on. We've implemented, they wanted to do Black History Month, so we have a Black History Month celebration that we're going to do in a couple of weeks, and we're working on making sure that every birthday is celebrated and people are acknowledged for their hard work, because this is a very hardworking staff and a great staff. I'm very lucky.
It's so important. Recognition, we know, goes a long way. The county's put a premium on organizational development and investing in people to help them move through their career. So lots of neat opportunities there. But you do have a large staff, and they do a lot of important work, and it's critical that we, recognize the commitment that they make to Lake County. Last thing I wanted to touch on was, one of the things that we look at when we're trying to make things more efficient or maybe drive a reform is all of the partners that we have to work with. And I think in our case, have the opportunity to work with because our strength really is our partnerships and our relationships. The judiciary is no different. We have the circuit court relies on your office, on the sheriff's office, public defender, and others. And all of these decisions that get made have secondary and tertiary impacts on the population of the jail to the court call schedule. How do we work together, or are there kind of experiences that you'll help drive to maybe accomplish that, or thoughts on it?
I think I'm really lucky to the extent that I've been in this community for 17 years. So I was blessed to come in, and I know a lot of the judges, and I've met most of you prior to running, and I have, know a lot of the sheriff's deputies and the sheriff himself. So a lot of that has really been a blessing for me. So coming in, it's nice that I can sit down, we can meet, we can talk about what issues are facing the community and what ways that we can implement strategies to try and help out. I know Patricia Jones has started an expungement program where she's trying to assist indigent people to be able to expunge their records. We're going to assist her in that as much as we can. There's some work that Audrey Nixon is trying to do with Don Morrison and the Lake County Bar Association and Bar Foundation to help people with reinstating driver's licenses, and we've been involved in that. So trying to get involved with the community and help out as much as our office, what our office has to offer to be able to provide that information to help people work through the system and to, help them be able to better their lives so they can drive again and obtain employment. And
it's all those simple things that you may not think about if you haven't interfaced with the 19th Circuit that need to be restored and reactivated in order to really fully get back to a full quality of life. But there's so much that you do. Thank you for running. We're glad to have you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I've heard nothing but good things. Working with our staff, we look forward to the next 4 years.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, and have a great day.